Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Jack's Mechanics. We've got today a 2018 MQ Mitsubishi Triton. I think this is a 2.5 litre, maybe 4M40. Would have to double check on that. It's late model 2018. DPF light flashing on the dash, traction control light, stability light by the looks of things, obviously ABS light as well. Not sure if they're all tied in together. Usually we see the DPF light flashing, but I don't recall seeing traction lights being turned off at the same time. So it's just in for a service and these lights, but we'll attack these lights first and see what comes up. We will probably plug the scan tool in, get some codes out of it, and make a plan and go from there. Okay guys, so it is a 4N15 engine code with the 2.4 litre turbo diesel engine. So obviously just done the pre-scan, you've seen it just finish. Engine oil level too high. It is been 15,000 k since we last serviced this car. An abnormality in stop light switch. Power supply low voltage, so I think what we might do, we'll just load test this battery as a good start. Obviously the engine oil level, that could be a theoretical calculation by the PCM, or it could actually be on the dipstick. So we'll go and check this oil level, see where we're at with that. So this is obviously the dipstick, massively over full. You can see the full mark there, but further up, if I wipe this off, that X mark is its over full limit. So basically when it reaches that point, sorry, just moved into the car, when it basically reaches that point there, that light will turn on. And the reason that we have an over full level is when it's doing its DPF regen, it's injecting diesel after top dead center to basically heat the exhaust up, and obviously get the temperature high where it burns off the soot in the DPF that's stored and turns it into ash. Some of that oil, because it's not, some of that fuel, because it's being injected after top dead center, gets washed down the bores and eventually fills this up till it gets to this point. And the reason that they basically turn the DPF light on and stop the regens is because there's a potential of it running on with its own oil. If you don't understand what running on is, give it a Google or a YouTube. It's basically when the car starts running on its own oil and you can't really turn it off, and it just revs up and just goes to complete self-destruction mode. The only way to sort of stop it is to choke the air intake and hope for the best. So it obviously is getting a service today, so we'll set that oil level correctly. But while we're here, we'll go into the scan tool and we should be able to have a look at the oil level and reset that, which needs to be reset every service as well. So I'll just clear the code. Should be an emissions data. No, nothing in there. Go to most used. I just want to see if it actually tells us the oil level. Should do. It's probably going to be in accessories, let's be honest, it's always the last one. Okay, so here we go, calculated oil level. Okay. So we have that one, millimeters cube, and a second one, not too sure. Maybe one is the one that's done by the PCM, and potentially it has a oil level sensor on the sump as well, which is like a mechanical check. Maybe it's double checking itself there. So basically need to reset that, which is easy enough. I'm just going to go down and see if there's anything else. Doesn't look like it, that's okay. So we'll go back and we'll just go into our special functions and reset. Engine oil exchange. Cool, so that was our 1550, the actual engine oil level calculated, not the number 2 though. I think what we'll do in this case, we'll drain the oil out and then we'll bring up the live data and check that again. Fuel consumption. Yeah, that should be about it. All right. Oh no, it did reset the oil level 2 as well. So now we will set the actual correct engine oil level, and this DPF light should go off. So we'll do the service to it, guys, and we'll take it for a drive, make sure that it's doing its regens and go from there. As far as that ABS light, we'll potentially make that into a second video. So just finished doing the service, guys. Couldn't actually find a mechanical oil level sensor on the sump, so I'm not sure where it gets both 1 and 2 calculated oil levels from, but either way they're both set at 0 now. So we will next take it for a drive. I've checked that there's no codes, and I'll bring up the PIDs in the other part of the scanner for the DPF regen and make sure it carries the regen out by itself. We don't want to basically force regen. There's just no point, not necessary, if we can avoid that. So I'll get this thing up to temp. Got to go bed these brakes in, they were just done, and yeah, we'll get the PIDs up for the DPF. I'm honestly not even sure if this is going to do a regen. Obviously our differential DPF pressure sensors are reading 1 kPa, which is min at idle. We'll just load it up a little bit. It's 1500 RPM. So may not do a DPF regen with that. Potentially it did one just before. It came in for a service and turned that light on all at the same sort of time. I'm not 100% sure when the light turned on. We haven't actually spoken to the customer about that in depth, but that's okay. We'll take it for a drive and see our min-max values of the DPF pressures, and we'll go from there. Must have done a regen just before it got here, guys, like I was saying. Phone's freezing here. We definitely didn't reset the DPF, and I mean the non-uniform soot accumulation is only 1 grams, so all we did was obviously reset the engine oil. And it's reading like that as well. You know, if it was blocked, we would have more differential pressure in between our sensors in the DPF. Half a kPa there, I believe, off the top of my head. It's no more than 3 kPa at idle, no more than 18 under medium load, and no more than 50 on a full 100% load, wide open throttle drive. And obviously I just went basically wide open throttle up the hill, and we only pulled 35 kPa, so we can say that this one's all good. It's driving mint. There is no lights on the dash. As far as the ABS light and that other battery code, battery failed the load test, battery was replaced. It is getting a brake pedal switch, brake light switch, as a sort of parts cannon sort of thing. Majority of the time it's going to be the switch when they log codes like this. But this is not really what this video is about. I'm just sort of covering that for you guys in case you were interested. So I think we can basically call this one a wrap. Our oil level's good, car's driving good, sounds good, plenty of power. We showed you how to reset the oil, we've done the service to it. So hope you took something away from that, guys, and make sure you're resetting your oil level or oil quality, oil quantity values in the scanner. This pretty much has to be done with every diesel car these days, so you definitely don't want to do a service and have this thing coming back a few weeks later with a DPF light on because you didn't sort of finish your job completely the first time when it was in. So make sure you're looking out for this. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it or you got anything out of it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care.